she's bisexual. Yeah, and I don't know if like she wanted to marry a girl or not, but that was another reason I felt so much more comfortable with her, because I was like, if she leaves me for a girl, charge it to the game, bro. Charge it to the game. You know what I mean? No, I'm dead serious. I really was like, if she's gonna leave me, it's probably gonna be for a girl, and I'm gonna just have to charge it. You know? Hold up, we gotta do the intro real quick. Let them know.
Intro.
Yeah. So, all right. You want to introduce yourself real quick?
What's up, guys? My name's Hector.
Hector.
My last name?
Yeah. Well, just all right. So you're Hector from LA.
Yeah, I'm from LA.
You're
22 years old.
22 years old, and I'm Joshua. This is my first episode of the OJIS podcast. OJIS just means divine energy, vitality, the energy that flows within. Everybody's got it. I used to call it forceful positivity, and then I watched a YouTube video with Sadhguru, and he was talking about OJIS, and I literally had like the Spider-Man meme when I said, he's talking about forceful positivity, and he just called it OJIS, you know? So that's why this podcast is called the OJIS podcast. And we are currently in Rocky Mountain Sober Living here in Colorado Springs, Colorado.
Yes, sir.
And we're just doing our best to get ourselves together and move forward in life. And we were just having a super good conversation earlier, and I just decided to cut the cameras on. And so this is our first episode of the OJIS podcast. And I'm sure I'll have him on more because we have really good conversations. And we just decided to just record this one. So thank you for watching. Whoever watched this, we absolutely appreciate it. And yeah, we're just having raw and unfiltered conversations and posting them on YouTube. So ladies and gentlemen, whoever you are out there, thank you for tuning in to the first episode of the OJIS podcast. My name is Joshua Martin. This is
Hector.
Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for watching.
All right, guys. It's getting bad. Like, I don't know, dude. Like, when you hear about those virtual girlfriends that people buy, it's like they're spending $10 a month for an AI to talk to them. It's like, that's just depressing. You know what I mean? It's like, we're getting to a point to, like I said, you know, it's like our population is going to keep aging. Birth rates are going to go down. And, yeah, that's kind of like the collapse of a society, if you ask me, you know? And then you throw in economic struggles where it's like a lot of young couples today are opting out of having kids just due to the economy. It's like, you know, you can't have a country with no population. It's like...
But, you know, we're not going to run out of humans, though. Like, our basic instincts is not going to allow that to happen.
Maybe not yet. I mean, we'll probably never run out, but it's like we won't be what we once were, you know? I think...
I mean, but time doesn't, you know... Times change, bro. Like, time doesn't stop. You know what I mean? And even like you were saying earlier, like, at least from your perspective, and correct me if I'm wrong, you were saying, like, you know, right now, more men are, like, traditional, right? Like, you were saying more men are, like, looking for that, like, to have a family and, like, to have that type of, you know, lifestyle where, like, women are more apt for the... Like, I'm not trying to get married early. I'm not trying to do all of that, you know?
100%,
and,
yeah.
You know, I would say, I mean, I wasn't living back in the day, you know what I mean? So I wouldn't know. But I feel like, you know, there's always been the group of, you know, like you're always going to have the group of men who don't want to, like, get married early, who they want to, you know, go through and experience some shit. And then you're going to always have women who are like, why would I want to, you know, deal with men and marriage and all of that right now? You know, I think it was just more promoted back in the day. But that's just from what I've seen, where it's, you know, get a job, have a family, have a house and all of that. But I don't think it's always been just that's how life was. I think it was just more talked about. At least I listen to podcasts that will talk about, you know, it's important to settle down. Like, I watched a video where, you know, it was, now I don't really watch any of his videos, but it was just a podcast with a bunch of people on there. It was like a round table of men, and like Ben Shapiro and a few of these gentlemen who were on there talking about marriage, you know, and like growing in the marriage together, you know. And, you know, I think that part was probably true for back in the day, where you got together and then you grew, you grew together in the marriage, versus now there's a bit more of like, better have that ish together before you come into a marriage.
It's like everyone wants a finished product, you know, and it's like,
Yeah.
I think that's kind of unrealistic, especially at like, you know, you look at people in their mid-20s to their 30s. It's like it's hard to find a finished product, you know. It's like it's not a realistic view of it, and you know, we were talking about like the divorce rates earlier. You know how it's about, you said it's 56%, right? It's like I think a huge part of that just has to do with culture. You know, where it's like where you were saying, you got a lot of young men and young women who don't want to get married yet, who want to like be a part of hookup culture, just have fun young, and I think that skews your view on relationships, because, you know, if you've had 10 partners in the past and you end up trying to do something long term with one person, as soon as times get hard, you're gonna have comparisons that you know, you're looking back to, and you're gonna be thinking like, all right, I can always find something better than this person. You know what I mean? I think that's a big part of the divorce rate being so high right now.
You know, I had not actually ever really like thought too much about that, but that's actually very true, at least from my experience.
Yeah, I mean, I'd say so. It's like the more partners you have, the harder it is to connect with one person, I'd say.
I think, yeah, because dang, bro.
Yeah.
Because like, and the one thing I would say is, I think right now it's so much easier to just look everywhere. Like, I don't have any dating apps anymore. You know, like, I remember I made a conscious decision, and I was like, you know what? If I'm gonna meet a woman, it's because I'm gonna walk up to them and I'm gonna like, what's up? I'm Josh. What's your name?
Yeah.
You know, I remember when I made that decision, where I was like, you know what? I'm not gonna ever. I don't like, literally. I don't think I ever want to use a dating app again. You know, because we go to the grocery store, you can see. And the thing, you know, what really bugs me is people are more like out to like give you shit if you do go up to someone and speak with them, versus just talking to like somebody on a dating app. You know,
Yeah.
People are like, why are you approaching that girl? Because I found her attractive and I wanted to go talk to her. Versus if you meet someone on a dating app, they don't blink twice. Not that I'm saying dating apps are bad, but I think now it feels like, to me, it's more acceptable to just meet somebody on a dating app and just go and chat to them, versus you see someone in person and you go, I like that, I like her, or I'm interested in knowing more about her, I'm gonna go talk to her. People are more like, dang, dude, like, that's crazy. You would just go up to a girl and talk to her. Or they're like, why are you talking to a girl at the grocery store? Then it's like, okay, so you want me to go talk to her at a bar? I'm gonna keep it a buck. I already told you this. I don't want to find my girl at a bar. I don't want to find a girl at a club. That's not where I want to meet, you know, a spouse or, you know, a wife. So, you know, why not? If I see them on a walk and I'm walking and I'm really like, I like what I see, yeah, I'm gonna go chirp that. I want to go talk to her. You know, I don't want to be in the club and going, this is where I'm finding my wife. Like, you know what I mean? And there's nothing against club culture, bro. I have no you know, like, I DD all my friends around, you know? And when you're sober and you're watching all of that, it's kind of nutty sometimes. Because half the time, everybody's sitting, just looking. You know what I mean? People are sitting and looking. And if they're dancing, like, they're dancing in their small groups. They're not really like intermingling with people all the time, you know? Now, I get it, you know, you came with your friends, but then I'm also like, fuck it. There's been a few times where I just walk up to a girl and just be like, yo, what's up? Like, what's your name? You know, because honestly, I use it as practice.
There you go.
I'm just gonna keep it a buck. I honestly will just use it as practice of just like, just get in the habit of just speaking to women all the time in any situation. Because you can't go, I need, the right environment to go talk to her. It needs to be like a house gathering where it feels a little easier because you have no choice but to talk to each other. The hell with that. And there's a thrill in just going up to a girl you've never spoken to, at least for me, Then I'm like, what's up? What's your name? What you doing here? You come with some friends?
Type shit.
I really enjoy that. And so, yeah, I mean, I think, at least for me, because like you were saying, people are more apt to do hookups, and that was me. I was that guy that was like, obviously, even if I like this girl, I'm not gonna date her because it's gonna end, and I'm not interested in waiting for. I was that guy that would be thinking of the end at the beginning. And I always had this thing where whenever I'd see like a girl that I'm interested in, or we're gonna be doing things, I'd be like picturing how it would end. Would it be, she's crying, or is it a over text thing, or is it she's gonna get bored of me? Because back then I was a little, rambunctious. But then honestly, I'm pretty chill when I'm like with a woman,
Yeah.
I'm pretty laid back, but when I'm just out and about, I can be a little rambunctious, and I'm just doing shit all the time. And I would always think, well, are they going to get bored of my personality? Are they going to get overwhelmed with how much energy I'm constantly like just up and up and up, And so I'd always have that thought in the back of my mind of, I could see how this would end. She'll probably end it with me and say, I think I just want to be friends. And I'd like play out the whole ending in my mind and just be like, okay, when it happens, I've already played how it's going to go, and I'm going to be okay, So that always stopped me from taking anything serious.
Kind of like putting up a shell, Like
of course,
protecting yourself. No, I get that. Yeah, I mean, if you ask me, I think this country needs a big shift socially if we want to get anywhere further. I think the way young men and women are going right now, we're kind of setting ourselves up for failures in terms of relationships and just family structures. I think we're going to see a lot more single-parent households, in the next 20 years or so. And that's just something I'm not cool with personally. I think that's a great mess up in society. I think it comes down to social media. I think it's like I said, just the constant comparison. If you ask me, it's tainted the way we see the world. So yeah.
You got choices, bro. Netflix, dog.
It's Netflix.
Yeah. You go on Netflix and you see one show, unless you've already like, if it doesn't hook you right away, then you're like, okay, what other shows are there? What can I look for?
I think that's part of it. Like, that's part of what ruins society, though, if you ask me. You know what I mean? Like, going on dating apps like Tinder or Hinge, or just constantly going out to the bars. Like, having so many options is just it's like brain rot. Like, imagine 50, 60 years ago, if you're in a small town, you met a girl in high school, it's like you'd probably stay with her long term, but you don't know if you're ever going to meet someone like that again. Versus today, you can meet a really great person, one of you goes online or goes to a party, and it's like you meet someone that you think is better, next thing you know, so you're cutting off something real that you have for something superficial. And I think that's just a constant pattern that we're seeing in today's society. And I think that people keep kind of jumping through hoops, trying to find the best thing they can get, not realizing they had it, 6 persons beforehand. Yeah, I don't know. I'd say I'm just not very happy with where society's going, personally.
I've definitely, like, when you were speaking about like 6 persons beforehand, right now, and even with this person, I don't even know if it would have I don't even know if it would have fully been like what I wanted it to be. But there's been one person in my entire life that I thought to myself, if I were to commit to this, if I were to really commit to this, this could be something fire. Like this would be fire if I committed to this one.
Yeah.
Or if I spoke my mind and said, I want you, I don't want anything else. Because like we were friends with benefits for 2 years.
Should have locked that up,
dude. When I tell you, it was, and the way I always described like what our relationship was business as usual.
Yeah.
Because this girl, she didn't play that shit. That's how I put her personality. She don't play that shit, and I love that. And the thing is, I tend to have a thing for women that are more reserved. Like I like a woman that can step into any room and subtly takes over the room. I mean, like all eyes are going in their direction. And I've seen that happen with 2 women. 2 women. And a lot of girls, 2 women that I've seen, and I'll go, that's what I wanted. That's the first thing that I wanted to see in somebody that I would take serious to the max, And this girl, she incredibly smart. And my favorite thing that happened was, so we went to my friend Brody Seacos' house, and it was just like a little party, and we get there, and I just remember watching this girl. We step in there in the backyard, and all the girls like eyes. No, I mean, and there were beautiful women in there. She's I told you 5'7", 5'8".
Yeah.
And there was a few other girls there that went to my school that were like, yeah, we're beautiful, and even they had that. Who is she? I love that quality. That's my number one quality. And it's not about the beauty, but it's the way you carry yourself. It's the way you present yourself, and the way energy is a real thing. I call it aura. When you step into a room, how do you change the temperature in that room? And it was one of those things where I remember there was a specific moment where I said, damn, like this is natural, where she would just follow me wherever I went. It wasn't hard for her to and it's not about, so to speak, following my lead, but it was just, she just wanted to be where I was. We were making food for everybody, and I'd be doing my thing. She'd literally be helping me getting it all done, and she just wanted to be next to me the whole time, and I wasn't worried about who she's talking to or any of that, She just was when the thing is, she didn't speak much. She wasn't much of a talker.
You real quiet?
Bro, I told you, bro,
Yeah.
If they're reserved, bro, I get sensitive, bro. I get sensitive when they're more reserved. That's just my bag, dude, And I just remember we were leaving, and I was like, damn, that was so fire, And it wasn't about the fact that she was beautiful. It was just the way we moved together in public,
It's the chemistry, huh?
And I always called it second level communication.
Yeah.
That's how I always described my time with this girl. I called it second level communication, because she wasn't much of the talker, and I just remember thinking, dude, you are gonna be so successful. And I've always thought that I was gonna be successful myself, and I was like, if you and I get together if we really get together down the line, and take something serious, it's just gonna be business as usual. We just do this. You know what I mean by that? Where I always just thought to myself, I was like, it's just gonna be one of those situations where this is just what we do. We roll out of bed and we're excellent together, you know? And I think, I know she was one of like those people that helped me develop and kind of like helped me like really understand what I liked in a woman, you know? And it was pretty dope. It was pretty dope because the number one thing I always liked about being with her is like, I just respected her so much, you know, above anything else. It was always like, I just want her to understand how much I respect her and just the way she just didn't play that bullshit, you know?
Yeah.
Like, and there were times where I'm gonna keep it a buck where I was like, why is she kicking it with me? Honestly, there were times where I'd be like, why does she want to hang out with me? Like, she's, you know what I mean? And I think it was just because, like, honestly, because she was more reserved, I was always like nervous that like she's just gonna get tired of me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because I just was high energy pretty often. But then when I'm with her, I'm eased up, you know? And that always kind of like made me go, dang, I don't know if she's gonna want to be around me like all the time. Because I was like, we're just F buddies right now, you know? Like we kick it, like we're not like, our relationship wasn't always sex. But still, it's a friends with benefits situation, you know?
Why didn't you lock it down?
Because I told you, man. I just liked what it was.
You didn't want to complicate it?
And yeah, man. And then I was living in Monument. She was living in Denver.
It's a bit of a drive.
It was 45 minutes.
Yeah.
And she would come down. She would come down to see me. I'd go up there to see her, you know? And it wasn't, I just honestly, I was like, I'm not screwing this up. I like the way this is going and I'm going to keep it the way it is. You know what I mean? If it ain't broke, don't fix it kind of thing.
2 years though, I mean, you gotta think, I mean, it comes to a point where it's like, you probably should lock it down.
Or at least made an attempt.
Or made an attempt.
Made an attempt, you know? But I don't think, in retrospect, I think the way it was, had I given it a shot, it may have made things a little harder. You know?
It might have, but I mean, harder doesn't mean worse per se. I think,
Fair enough.
I think if you guys were, you know, doing that for 2 years, there's definitely feelings there that were mutual. And, you know, it's like, it could have been something that prospered, you know? I think in situations like that, it's just important to talk about your feelings, you know what I mean? And I'm sure that takes courage. It's hard. It's easier said than done.
We did
you?
One time.
Didn't go
But
well?
also understand, feelings change.
Yeah.
Because I remember when that conversation happened, I was shocked. I was actually like taken back, you know, because I was like, what the heck? I didn't see this coming because and the one thing I always remember is I should have shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up and let her talk. Because I remember being so excited that she was saying this stuff and I just needed to let her speak. You know, the amount of lessons I've learned just like looking back at stuff, you know, because like we're sitting on her bed and like we're just talking and, you know, she's starting to talk and she just was like, you know, down the line, I think I want us to like maybe, you know, maybe take something serious when we're both ready.
Yeah.
You know? And I remember like then I started to talk about, yeah, like, you know what, and it wasn't like I'm getting hyped, but I was just like, I think I want to do this too, you know, I want to do this with you. But that was a moment where I just needed to let her speak more. You know what I mean? But I was so hyped because this girl, I think that's what made me want her more is because she wouldn't let out much. She wouldn't let out much. She just wanted to kick it with me all the time. But she wouldn't let me in that much. And that made me want her more, bro. Because there's a thing about when you notice somebody who not everybody can get to. For me, that makes me want them more. Because I love social women. I love women who just like, high energy, but they scare me more, because for me, it's one of those where like when they're super affectionate right away, like I'm like the heartbreak there is gonna be worse. Versus women where they're more reserved, not everybody can get to them. I'm like, this is kind of what I'm used to. And one, I'm more apt to go for that because I don't want a woman that will just speak to everybody and everybody can speak to them. And it's not that I don't want them, but I want a woman that I can go. We step into a room, she's like, she can socialize, but not everybody can speak with her. Like you just have to have, it's one of those where it's like blood types. You know how there's O, is it O that fits all?
I believe so.
Yeah, and then A and B, you have to have a match, right? I don't want O. and O is great. O is fantastic, but I've always like I literally have tracked it back multiple times where I've noticed a repeating pattern where I only go for girls that I need to see them in a social environment where not everybody's coming up to them, But yeah, going back to this girl, I just remember like thinking, obviously, I'm gonna marry this girl.
Yeah.
I really thought I'm about to marry this girl in like 8 years. Because I think I was 21, 20? I think I was 20 at this time. And yeah, 20 or 21. And I just remember thinking, I'm gonna bust my butt because when she's ready and I'm ready, she will have graduated college by then. And when I tell you this woman is incredibly smart, and I was like, genetically, that's what I want. I literally was like, your genetics, your face, me, we put it together. And what's gonna come out of this? And I literally thought to myself, I was like, if we get divorced, we would be great co-parents.
Yeah.
That was one of the things that I really liked about her is I was like, if we were to ever get a divorce, this girl and I would be great parents because she's gonna have her own bag. She's gonna have her own money. I would never have to worry about that. And it would just, when she's done, And I was like, I would be the one that gets heartbroken, but it wouldn't be the type of heartbreak that would like be crushing to me. It would be like, yeah, I loved her, but I also knew like, this is what I expect. Like when she's done, she's done.
Yeah.
So then I was okay with that. I was like, the ending with this woman, I can see when she's over this, she would be over this and she would be breaking down business. Okay, so this is where I'm thinking this is what's gonna happen. What are you thinking? And then bam, bam, bam. And if we have a couple kids together, I'd be like, look, we're gonna raise these kids together. You're gonna do your thing. I'm gonna do mine. But I feel like I always thought we would be great co-parents, and so I was like, that's why I wanted her. I was like, the ending of our marriage, if that ever came down, wouldn't be a mess, because she's not highly emotional, and I liked that. I was like, that was one of my favorite qualities about her is, sensitive, but she wanted to be a brain surgeon. You know what I mean? Like the type of brain you need to have to want to be a brain surgeon is you got to be on a tight string. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Just be able to keep your mood just all the time, flatline. And so, yeah, I fumbled that, but I didn't fumble it because it just felt like it was gonna end. At some point. And she was going to school. Like she's gonna be in a different state,
How did it end?
Well, so what happened was I went to her house, I was high. And I was stuttering, I was kind of annoying her. She's like, bro, like you're cooked. Like you keep repeating yourself, Josh. What are you doing,
Yeah.
And I was just high, and I'm just repeating myself. I'm not really speaking much. When I'm speaking, I'm like just being awkward, And then once I left, I was like, dang, that wasn't good. Honestly, I was like, that was not good. that was not, because she was just about to go to school.
Yeah.
And maybe like a month and a half, maybe a month left till she went to school. And I went to kick it with someone the next day, and I was like, but oh well, because it was the fact that right after that I went to kick it with another girl, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna be okay, but at the same time I was like, it still wasn't good the way like the last time I saw that, and then I texted her, I was like, hey, I'm sorry I was being annoying, like my bad, I'm really sorry about that, like call me when you can and let's just talk it out. She didn't. Yeah, bro. But here's the thing, it hurt, but I was like, I expected that, and then she didn't talk to me until I was like getting ready to move out. I had rented a place for a month, and then she finally FaceTimed me and she's like, hey, sorry, been busy. And I'm like, my G, I saw you in July. It's September. What do you mean you've been busy?
She already left for school this time?
Yeah, she was already at school. And I remember, I thought I was gonna cry. I really did, because I was getting a little choked up, because I was like, I think I just lost like a friend, even if like, because like the thing is, I wasn't always like trying to be sexual with this girl, because I just honestly just enjoyed her company, that like I just would tell her like, we don't have to do anything today, we can just chill if you want to, like I just wanted to I was like, when she comes back from school, I want to still be able to go and kick it with her, right? And she was just so business minded, bro, and I was the one that got sensitive, dude. I got sensitive as hell, and I was like getting choked up. And I remember the conversation lasted maybe 5 minutes. And then I was like, okay, I think I need to be done with this conversation, because I'm getting choked up here and I can't do this, And then we didn't speak for time. And then the next time we spoke, I FaceTimed her. I was pissed. And oh man, this is terrible. But so what happened? I had broken up with this girl, right? And I FaceTimed her maybe the next day, because the person that I was in a relationship with, I was like, fam, there was something that was happening that I just was like, I don't like the way you keep bringing this up, because this has nothing to do with me and you keep bringing it up. And I broke it off and I went FaceTimed her. I said, you know what? I'm tired of this. I want you. This is what's going to happen. This is what we're going to do. You're going to finish school. I'm going to be working my butt off at this position, this job, and then when you finish school, we're gonna get together, we're gonna get married, we're gonna move to the state you wanted to move to. I'm gonna have a house here, you're gonna have a house in this state, and then I'm gonna come see you at your place, or you're gonna come see me at this state. She wanted to live on the East Coast, and I was like, that's what's gonna happen. And I was like, I'm not like asking you, I'm telling you this is what I want. And she was like, bro, I don't want kids. And then I was like, now keep in mind, this is when your boy was starting to bug out.
Yeah.
I was bugging. And she was like, Josh, I don't want kids, Josh. And I was like, well then F it. I won't have kids, but I just want you. I don't want anything else. You know what I mean?
Crazy.
It's like, dude, I was really on that type of time where I was like, enough with this pussy shit, Josh. Enough of this, oh, you know what? You got it. No, speak your damn mind. What do you want? And let it be known this is exactly what you want, And I remember just telling her, I was like, you know what? The heck with the kids then. I just want to be with you. So if that means I won't ever have kids, the hell with it. We're not going to have kids, And she was like, Josh, like, I just don't want to do this with you, And then, honestly, she just hung up, and I was like, oh well, moving on. Because I was like, fam, like, I spoke my mind. I'm not gonna do this BS. You know what? I spoke exactly what I wanted to speak about. You don't want to do this, fuck it. And like she hung up the phone. And honestly, I felt like a man after that. Because I've just been pussying around. I've been being a little bitch.
Is that the last time you talked to her?
No, because I called her when I called her I got back from San Diego. Yeah. And this time it wasn't for anything other than the last time I had spoke to this girl, I was bugging. I was bugging out. So she's bisexual. Yeah, and I don't know if like she wanted to marry a girl or not, but that was another reason I felt so much more comfortable with her, because I was like, if she leaves me for a girl, charge it to the game, bro. Charge it to the game. You know what I mean? No, I'm dead serious. I really was like, if she's gonna leave me, it's probably gonna be for a girl, and I'm gonna just have to charge it, you know? And I called her after I got back from San Diego, and your boy had been like, finally, like, you know, getting upbeat on life again. And just going, you know what, man, like, it's okay, you know, like, you're doing so much better now. And it was strictly just to apologize, you know, and just let her know, like, hey, I'm sorry for what had happened. The problem was I had literally been, like, the last time I spoke to her, I'd lost my shit. Or that was the start. That was the start of like the spiral.
You were tweaking a little bit.
I was bugging, bro. I was bugging. I'm pissed off at life. I'm pissed off at myself. I'm pissed off at the girl I just broke up with. I'm just going through it. And I was like, you know, I'm gonna go speak to the girl, the one girl that I thought would pull me out of it. I'm gonna keep it a buck. I was like, this is the one girl that if there was any chance of anybody being able to do something about me not constantly tripping, it would be her. I was like, this is the only girl that I would behave for, you know? Because I was like, you know what? The thing is, we all have one person who will make us reconsider some shit in life. You know, when you're on bullshit, there's always gonna be at least one person in your life that will, maybe they don't like change your mind completely from like what you're doing, but they'll at least like make you consider. You know what I mean? We're all weak for somebody.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Or, well, there's always one person in life that you're willing to lend an ear to, or at least soften up for, you know? And for me, that was her, you know? And I was like, if she says yes to this, obviously I'm over this BS that I keep doing, and I'm gonna get it together, you know? And yeah, when that didn't happen, I just like was like, you know what? F you, F this, F that, F everybody. I'm gonna do my thing now, you know? And I'm just mad at myself, I'm mad at the world, I'm mad at everything around me. And then yeah, when I got back from San Diego, I think it may have been a couple weeks or a week or two, and I gave her a call, and I just wanted to apologize because I was like, you know, I owe her an apology for having the audacity to think like I could just tell her what I wanted and it was just gonna happen, you know? Like, you better chill, you know? And I left a voicemail. And like I said, she's business minded, bro. And she was like, yeah, sorry, man. Again, I'm sorry I didn't get back to you. Been doing stuff, but I don't think it's good for us to speak, you know? And I was like, I read it. I said, word, deleted her number. I was like, okay.
Oh, you deleted the number?
Yeah, bro. I was like, all right, like, but that was good for me, bro. Because sometimes, man, when shit is just over with, it's over with. You know? And you gotta just understand that.
Gotta accept it, huh?
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And that was one of those moments for me where I was like, okay, duly noted. Duly noted. I understand what you're saying. I appreciate what you're saying. I'm gonna keep it pushing. There's no need for me to respond. So I deleted her number, and I was like, all right, you know, I don't even know if we'll ever run into each other though. Which, I'm like, it is what it is, B. So.
Damn. That was deep.
Yeah, bro. Yeah. But you live and learn, bro. You live and learn, you know? And all you can do is take lessons from that, you know? Because I think there are times where, like, I'm pretty soft-hearted, honestly. Like, no matter what I say, I'm a pretty soft-hearted person. You know, and sometimes you need that person, and if you just take the lesson from what you're being taught, if you actually let yourself get taught, you know, you gotta have a little bit of coldness in you, you know, like, and just when I say coldness, you gotta be able to make a decision and stick to it.
Got a backbone.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. The real stuff. And this girl's taught me how to have a backbone, you know, because I think there's just times where I'm just emotionally too gentle, you know, and for this girl's definitely like, she just taught me like, bro, grow up, you know,
Yeah.
just grow the fuck up. So I had to take it.
I think every guy needs that at least once in their life. You know what I mean? I think it kind of shapes a man. I'd say it's better to cash that in when you're young, you know, and being 30, going through something like that.
Mm-hmm.
100%. So.
And for me, it didn't like hurt, you know, but that's the thing is with this specific girl, that's just what I expect.
Yeah.
You know, I literally expect, just like I said, business. If I mess with you, I mess with you. But don't try and push me to get too emotional with you. Let me do that. You know?
Is it frustrating for you?
Of course it was, dude.
Like the fact that she was so reserved and closed off.
Absolutely, dude. Oh my God. When I tell you, it was literally like emotional torment, bro.
Yeah.
Because, and it's a real thing. It's a real thing. You got to listen to what I'm saying about this, because I have this thing where I'm more comfortable knowing that I'm going to be emotionally tortured. I'm more comfortable with that than feeling like this is just like eased up. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I get more intimidated by someone who makes me feel like they are all for me. Because the heartbreak that comes with that is different.
It's a lot worse. Huh?
You know what I mean? Versus with this type of where you're emotionally tormented, you go, okay, I know you're not letting me have all of you. And one, that draws me in. Number two, when it ends, for me personally, when it ends, I'm okay with it. You know, because there'd be times where, you know, communication wise, you know, she'll hit me and be like, yo, do you want to hang out today? And I'll be like, yeah. Then I won't hear back for like 6 hours. Then I'm like, oh my God, I'm going to go crazy. Like, are you going to bail on me last second? You know, but you know, the crazy thing is she never bailed. But it would just be, yo, what are you doing? You want to hang out today? And I'll be like, hell yeah. You know, then I'm just on edge waiting for a response.
I think it was like a power thing with her.
I don't know. I can't make any assumptions like that. I genuinely, that's one of those things where I could never make any assumptions. Because when this girl is doing shit, she's doing shit. Or that's what I could just infer. I wouldn't ever just be able to say, yo, like she's out and about and she's doing this, and I could never just make that assumption, you know, because sometimes that's just how she communicated. When she just hit me, when I give her an answer, she may hit me with a quick text, then I don't hear back until like maybe 3 hours, 2 hours before we're supposed to do something, you know? And so, of course it was emotionally tormenting, because then I want more. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Then I'm like, why? I want you to let me in more, because I would get so sensitive around this girl. I would get so sensitive, bro.
Yeah, I don't know. That sounds like a power move, dude. Like, I mean, I don't know. I guess they could just be big. Like, was it consistently like that?
Yeah.
Yeah, that sounds like a power move, man.
And here's the thing. It could be. It could be. If I'm looking at it objectively, some people are naturally like that. That's one of the things that I've learned to understand, is some people are able to command power effortlessly. Command power. They're not trying to, but they just got it like that. And the power comes in many different forms. You know, I think people get intimidated when they hear the word power, or they think power is a bad thing. You know, but one is, you know, men have power, women have power, you know, a woman's power to, you know, be able to get a man to do what they want, a man's power to be able to get people to do what they want in different ways, you know. Bro, if you are powerless in this world, what good are you to people? Whether that's the power to get things done, whether that's the power to move people, whether that's the power to do things yourself. You need some level of power if you want to go places in life.
Yeah.
You know? That's just how it works. Like, and it's the same with relationships. Right? If you don't have the power to make a girl ease up around you, to make a girl want to come around you, and you could call that seduction. You know, everybody needs a type of seduction, a level of seduction, you know? And for her, you know, because I'm not making any assumptions, and I can't sit here and tell you it was a power move, because I just looked at it as naturally, she just got it like that, where she's able to just make me want her, you know? And the thing that always made me feel a bit hesitant, because I always thought I was pretty confident, you know? But I would also have this thing in the back of my mind where I would always think, she'll still hit me up to hang out, but she won't let me in. Like, what is up with that?
Sounds like a to me it sounds like a power move, dude. Like a push and a pull. You know what I mean? It's like baiting you, like fishing almost. You know, it's like, I don't know. It should always kind of be like, at least for me, it should be like 50-50, you know? It's like,
bro, we gotta cut that bullshit out. I'm just keeping it a whole 1,000 with you, bro.
Yeah.
Sometimes relationships are not 50-50. A lot of the times they are not 50-50, bro. And that's where people get so stuck on it needs to be 50-50 all the time that it ruins shit. It does. Some days it's not gonna be 50-50. It's like, you ever have been in a situation where the girl is more into you than you are into her? And be honest, bro. Mentally, you know.
Yeah.
You know. And you play into that. It may sound terrible, but it's true. We all do it. We play into when you feel like you have the advantage. You're more apt to take advantage of the fact that you have the advantage.
100%, yeah.
You know? And so that's where you just got to be good at playing the game. I've learned this way more now. You can't get mad at the game. Get good at playing it. You know, until you can put yourself in a position where it becomes 50-50. But getting mad at the start that it's not 50-50, it's like, why do men pursue women? Do you think right away it starts off at 50-50?
Not at all.
And it's like a lot of the things, it's like when a man goes up to a woman to introduce themselves because they find her attractive. That's not 50-50, bro. That's you going right now, it's 100% on me to pull her towards like 30%, then 40, then 50. You know? But if someone doesn't take 100% initiative to go, okay, I'm gonna go up to this woman, I'm gonna talk to her and hope that this relationship will eventually become 50-50, then it never works.
Yeah.
You know? And that's why I'm not on social media. Or I'm not on dating apps, because with dating apps, people, and I've gone through this where, you know, I'll feel like I'm putting in effort to like court this girl, to like get her to go get some coffee or whatever, right? And she, like, you feel like, and not what I feel like, sometimes women are just bored and they go on a dating app to get some attention, to like get that ego boost.
Yeah.
You know, like the ego is the ego thing is real when it comes to dating apps, right? Because sometimes a woman just wants to feel better about themselves, so they go on a dating app to just swipe and see how many people are into them, you know, how many people are trying to match with them. Then they'll just, you know, sit there and scroll through and pick, you know, here and there. And I've talked to girls about this, right? So I've gone through that where I'm just feeling like frustrated as fuck, where like maybe we'll set up a date, the bail last second or some shit. right? Or like literally the day of, they'll be like, you know what? Sorry, I'm not really feeling this. I'm out, right? And it happens, bro. And that's when I was like, okay, for me, this is not how I want to do this anymore, right? So I deleted all my dating apps, and I was like, if I'm ever gonna like interact with a woman, I'm doing it in person, you know, like that's just how I want to move.
And it'll work better that way too. Like, I don't know, I see dating apps as just awful. You know what I mean? It's like the way I see them. It's like it's another one of those things that kind of taints society, and it just creates a bigger disconnect in the world than actually connecting people. You know. I'd say it's always better to meet someone in person. Probably not the bar or the club, but like grocery store, maybe church. You know what I mean? Go find a hobby you enjoy doing. Go meet some people there. It's like stuff like that. I think that works out much more organically, or it's just better that way. You know what I mean? It's a much more organic way of finding someone. Yeah, and I'm right with you on that. You know.
So like for you, what would you say, like what would you say some of the biggest things, what are some of the things, or some of the biggest things you've learned from like interactions with women, or like you're dating? Because I've only dated one woman, like actually dating. I've only had one time experience with that. And you said you're coming from LA where things are really different.
I mean, yeah, I feel like in LA it's just a lot more superficial. You know what I mean? It's like it's a lot more about materialistic things. It's a lot more about how much money you have, what your status is. I can't say too much about Colorado. I'm not too familiar with the scene out here. I'm sure Denver's probably similar to LA. I don't know too much about Springs personally, but at least in my experience in LA, my friends' experiences, it's usually just short-term flings. You know what I mean? It's like you go hook up with someone for the summer, and it's like once school starts, you know what I mean? It's like you guys are kind of going your separate ways. One thing I learned though overall that I kind of witnessed is if you do want to keep something long term though, I think you gotta be ambitious and you gotta keep yourself first. You know what I mean? And I think that's probably the most attractive thing that a woman can see about a man is ambition, and he's got a goal in life, and he's the most important person in his own life. It can't be the girl. I think that once you put the girl on a pedestal and you put her above you, and you know you're losing track of your own goals, your own ambition, I think that's when a relationship kind of crumbles. I mean, you know, it's like that's just my experience. It's kind of the way I see it, you know. But again, I'm coming from LA, so it's like it's a little bit different out there. So.
And like, you know, how would you say like you were in a relationship? Just be completely honest with you.
Be honest, I'm real nonchalant. Like, low key, if I see they're losing interest in me, it's like I'll just back off. I don't really try to chase them. Don't really care to chase them. One thing I learned is you can't control anybody. You know what I mean? You can't tell someone to stop doing something. Unless it's like your kid or something. But, and for the most part, you can't tell a grown individual to not do something. They just won't tell you about it when they do it. You know what I mean? Yeah, I'd say I'm the type of guy where it's like if I feel you're losing interest, or I feel you're doing this or that, I'll just take myself out of the situation and try to grant myself some peace of mind versus tripping over something that I can't control. So that's kind of how I always been. I think it saves me some heartache, saves me some stress. Yeah, I mean, I think that's the best thing I can do for myself personally in those situations. My first girlfriend, she was cool, and I had a feeling she was messing with one of her coworkers, and I did, you know what I mean?
I'm sorry.
And it was just like, it was one of those situations where it's like I talked to her about it, didn't really get upset, And it's like I had all these like clues in front of me. You know what I mean? It was like it was right in front of my face, and I realized right there, I was like, you can't control anybody. You know what I mean? It's like I'm never gonna stop her from doing this. So I didn't even try to. I just kind of took myself out of the situation, backed off, and that was that. It's just that's just kind of the way the cookie crumbles sometimes. I like to keep myself, like, my peace of mind above anything else. So I will never start tripping over someone in a situation I can't control, because then I just feel powerless. And on top of that, it's like I feel like, let's say I were to start tripping over her, it's like, one, it doesn't change anything that already happened or is going to happen. And two, it's like you're gonna look back on it and you're gonna feel shameful of the way you acted. You know what I mean? You're gonna look back and be like, damn, I was a fool. You know what I mean? It's like I was doing this, and that. She didn't even give a fuck. You know what I mean? It's like at least that's how I would feel. I'd feel like just like I played myself in a way almost. You know what I mean? I think it's best to walk out with your pride. You know what I mean? Walk out with your back straight and your chin up, and yeah, that's the way I kind of rule. I try not to control anyone. And on top of that, I have no right to control anyone. You know what I mean? It's like I don't own anyone. You know what I mean? It's like, we were together in a relationship, but she's her own person with her own life. I'm my own person. We were young. It's like
How old were you at this time?
I just turned 20.
Okay.
Yeah. That's kind of the way I see it. It's like, I think it's also important to feel your feelings. You know what I mean? It's not good to bottle it up, but I wouldn't take it out on her per se. It's just, it's part of life. You win some, you lose more. It's like, it's just kind of the way it goes sometimes. So yeah, that's kind of how I feel about relationships like that. Not to say she didn't have power over me. Like, I think for a good amount of time, she definitely did have power over me. But once I realized that it's like I had no control over her, I had no leverage. I let it take course. You know what I mean? I was out of there personally. It was hard, but it was the best thing I could have done for myself. So yeah.
And this was your first?
Yeah. I still think about it sometimes, but like, I mean, it could have been worse. You know what I mean? It was one of those things that really shaped me as an individual. Like I said, I think every guy needs one. You know what I mean? It's like one heartbreak. It kind of. I'm serious. You know what I mean? It makes a man. You know what I mean? It's like, you hear some of these guys who have never had their heart broken before, and it's like they're dating a chick at like 18, 19, talking about getting married and having kids, and it's just like you don't even know. You know what I mean? It's like they're out here with some Disneyland relationship, and it's like, bro, it's like, life's gonna hit you like hard one day. It's like, I mean, I can't blame them. It's like I was in the same boat at one point, so it's like everybody learns their lesson a little differently. But I mean, I think that just what comes with heartbreak is just a deeper understanding of the human experience. You, like I said, you understand you can't control anyone. You understand that things don't always go as planned. You understand that feelings change over time. You know what I mean? It's like, the only person, I mean, at least for me, it's like the way I see it, the only love that's unconditional is the love that comes from your parents. I say, other than that, every other person is only going to love you under certain conditions. And those conditions aren't right anymore. People get older, and people start wanting to experiment, or people start wanting to do other, like, life just takes people in so many different paths. You can't expect to stay with the person you met at 18, 19, 20 years old. It's just not realistic. And it's like there's better ways of relationships ending than someone getting cheated on or doing your partner dirty, whether it's you that's like fucking up or them. But it's a lesson that needs to be learned. You know what I mean? And I think it's best to cash in that lesson when you're young. You know what I mean? Because I couldn't imagine if because what I felt at 20 years old when I she broke my heart. I try not to let her know that, you know what I mean? I try to keep my cool. So it's like I kind of kept that to myself and to some of my close friends, but I couldn't imagine feeling that way at 30.
Nah.
You know what I mean? It's like I couldn't imagine just like being blindly like just going through life, and then like at 30 years old I fucking get with this chick, fall madly in love with her, and then she cheats on it. Because it's like at 20 years old I had no responsibilities. You know what I mean? It's like I could take the time to go fucking wallow in my room for like a week or two. It's like you can't do that at 30. You know what I mean?
You know what's funny is, so my friend Mickey and I, like, this was my senior year. I would say this is my first and only heartbreak, like actual true heartbreak. My senior year, bro. My friend Mickey and I, my friend Mickey was really into this chick for time. I mean, maybe 2-3 years, right? But it was just, he could never make a move. And then I've been just doing up madness, you know. I'm doing up madness. This is my senior year. And your boy ain't really looking for no relationship, man. I'm not into none of this BS. And then there's this girl. And innocent, bro. Innocent and, I told you, reserved, bro. And I thought she was top 5 prettiest girl in our class. Till this day, I would stand on that.
Yeah.
She was so beautiful, bro. And Mickey had just gotten his heart broken. And I just got my heart broken, bro. And we'd just be in my basement, just wallowing in pity, bro. In pity. When my friend Maru would come over to check on me, I wouldn't leave my house. As soon as school's done, I go home and I'm smoking uncontrollably and passing out in my room. And I refused to leave my room. I would just cry. I remember one time, I'd just gotten home and it's raining and I'm sitting in front of my house in my car listening to James Bay, If You Ever Want to Be in Love, just crying my heart out, bro. I'm literally crying like a little boy, bro, because I literally could not believe how bad it hurt, you know?
And it's like it's a physical, like you feel it, bro. Like you feel it in your chest and your stomach.
When your heart starts, when your chest starts heating up, dude. Nah, real stuff. And it was just the way that it happened. This is the most high school situation you've ever heard of. Over some hickeys, dog. Over some dang hickeys, bro.
That's fucked.
Dude, you're telling me, bro, I was crushed, bro. And the thing that I really liked was when we weren't speaking to each other, in the car, it wasn't awkward. You know when you're just starting to talk to somebody and there's silence and you feel like you have to say something.
There's tension, man.
You know, it wasn't awkward at all. We just be chilling in the car, just quiet, nothing being said, and it's just vibes, man. You know, and I remember I left some hickeys on her,
She didn't like that, did she?
No, her friends.
Oh, it was
her friends got heated up. Their friends heated up at me. They were like, "Why the fuck would you leave hickeys all over her tits? What the fuck is wrong with you? You fucked up, bro. You know her parents are gonna kill her when they see this. You're mad, bro. You're insane. Why the fuck would you do this?" I was trying to make a heart shape. You know what I mean? So I was trying to literally make a heart outline around her tits. Here, and then I was trying to do that. But one titty was literally looked like it was just bro, it looked like a leech. It literally looked like a leech all over her tits, bro. And it did not turn out the way I was expecting. But how the hell was I gonna know that? You know? And her friend texted me. But her friend's got a man. And she's heating up on me over text. What the fuck did you do to this girl? What did you do? You know her parents are gonna kill her if they see this. And she was Russian.
She's Russian?
An only child. Right. And I guess she was just, when I don't know if I've met multiple of these types of women where they're an only child and their parents are overly protective of them, but they're also a girl, you know, so you gotta understand that. And she was just all about school and shit, you know? And I just remember feeling so bad because we getting it up, you know what I'm saying? We heating up in my room, it's what you want from me, man? We was getting down, and I was really trying to make sure she was okay, and she was cool. She was like, "You're fine, you're fine, you're fine." And I genuinely was like, "Are you sure?" I'm about to do this on your chest. Like, she's like, you're fine, you know? And then come to find out, her friends are like heated up at me. And I'm like, all of her friends were in relationships. Yeah. She was the only single one, and they heating up at me. Like, y'all ain't never experienced none of this? You girls do this on a weekly basis. Right. And you heating up at me? And then I was like, are you guys mad that like your single friend may end up like being with me when y'all was pushing this? You guys were the one doing inquiries. Actually, I'm getting questions like, yo, what do you think about her? Like, what do you think about this? You know what I mean? And I'm like, y'all heating up at me when you guys are in relationships, you guys are having sexual intercourse and all of that, and you want to come at me over some dang hickeys on their titties? I was tight, bro. And then she ended it, and I'm crushed because there's nothing like finding a sweet, innocent woman. And it's not even about like, you just want that to yourself, bro. You don't want anybody else to like have this, you know what I mean? And so I remember like, dude, I used to like get so overly emotional over women, bro.
Yeah.
But I mean like overly emotional over women. And we're in the car, and I was just so down, and I'm like, I'm really sorry. Like, I'm so sorry. You know, I feel bad, you know? And in my opinion, her friends got to her. Like, straight up. Like, her friends got to her because she was cool. And then the next thing, her friends heating up at me, and then she's like, I gotta listen to my friends. Like, I ain't never done this before, you know? I think I may have been her...
The player hating, dude.
Bro,
the player hating.
I don't know. But I was just like, fam, like, this is unfair. Because at this point, I wanted her now. Like, bad. You know, your boy was down bad because I wasn't seeing anything else. I wasn't looking for anything else, you know? And so then I was just like down and out. And then, you know, we're talking and she's like, you know, I think I just want to like focus on my, you know, the usual bullshit. I think I just want to focus on myself and just finish out school. I'm worried. I'm trying to get into nursing school. What was it? Maybe 2 weeks later, I found out she's going with a homie to prom.
Damn.
And she was trying to give it up to him. And I was like, you know, I actually didn't have like a bad reaction, but I was just like, word? Wasn't it like 2 weeks ago? I was just chatting up about this. And then I find out you trying to do it up with my mans. I was like, all right, bro, the game is the game. That was like, and then I remember till this day, it was literally the moment where I said, your boy is gonna get this shit together. And one day you're gonna look back and I want you to feel like, yeah, you should have given me an opportunity. I remember that because I like mentally I said, I'm gonna be the most successful mofo this girl ever knows. Like, actually, I remember that.
Yeah.
This was long before like the girl we were talking about earlier, you know? And I was like, obviously, I gotta do something. I'm not taking this L. I'm not going out like this, you know? Right. And I was just like, you know what? I'm gonna be successful. And at this point, bro, I had like kind of given up. Your boy mentally was like, bro, I was like bad. It was bad. I was checking the fuck out, bro. Like, cause at this point, my relationship with my adoptive father is trash, garbage. I was like, I'm failing school. I'm not getting it together. I'm literally like, I was paying for a math tutor, and I'm pissed that I'm having to pay out of pocket for a math tutor so that I can get through this math class. And I'm like, I don't even see a future for myself. I don't see a future for myself. I'm down bad, you know? The only thing that was helping me was my friend Nikki. Like, my friend Nikki was so critical for me at that point. It's second semester of senior year. Everybody's doing up, I'm going to college here, I'm going to college there, I'm doing it this, I'm doing that. And me, I'm like, fam, I have to literally move out in like 3 months, 2 months. I don't have a place that I'm thinking I can go to. I'm failing school. Like, what the am I doing? Like, what am I gonna do? You know? And Mickey, bro, my friend Mickey was so clutch, dude. We spent like almost every day together. You know, and I remember people were busting jokes like, you guys must be gay, huh? And it's like, fam, like, we just like kicking it with each other, you know? Like, he just was there all the time, you know, and like he was the only person that I think I gave a key to my house, and then he'd go post up when I'm not there. He'd be like, "Yo, I just want to go chill," because my house was a literal 2-minute drive from the high school.
Yeah,
you know, and he'd be like, "Yo, I may need to take this girl over to your crib for a minute while you're not home. Is that cool?" I'd be like, "Yeah," you know, and he was the only one that was allowed to like do that. And he just held it down through my senior year, bro. And then I was like, you know what? I'm gonna be successful because this girl's not playing me for a joke. You know, like I don't know if I would have ever had the mentality until I found out she was trying to go to prom with the homie, and I was like, charge it to the game. I'm gonna do something about this. You got me fucked up. No, actually, I was like, I'm not taking this. You know, as a man, I'm not the type to take things personal, but I'm not taking that. You know? And I was like, I'm gonna do something about this. You know? It's like I don't know if you've ever heard one like story of like Will Smith getting cheated on.
Yeah.
And then he was like, I'm gonna become the most successful mofo this girl has ever known. You know? Now hopefully this doesn't happen to me, but I don't wanna find no Jada Pinkett.
Oh, that's terrible, dude.
That'll hurt. That's awful. Because my man did everything he could to be the greatest father he could be, to just be a good role model. Now he got a woman charging him up to smack a mofo on stage. You know what I'm saying? Like, a woman will push you to do a lot, bro. A woman will push you to great heights, but also a woman will drive you into insanity.
Let's wrap this up.
Yeah.
I gotta start getting ready.
I got you. But yeah, man. Heartbreaks, man.
They're
you need
tough,
one.
man.
You need one.
Yeah, just cash it in at like 20. You know what I mean?
Get it in. Get it up early. Get those shots up early.
If you can't do it in high school, you know what I mean? Like, you ain't got no worries in high school.
Facts.
Just pull up, smoke in the restroom or something.
Nah, real shit, dude.
Sleep during class. It's like, I don't know. Like anything after like 25, like you don't want to be dealing with that.
Well, you just want to be able to handle it better, you know? Because you, as soon as you think like you're over heartbreak, then you're gonna meet another woman that like brings something different to the table. It could be the same thing, maybe, but it's just done in a different way that makes you like fall for them. And then, you know, people don't like, men are just as sensitive as women, bro. And sometimes I get frustrated when people try to like play one side or say, women have it bad or men have it bad. We all got it bad. We all in this jumbo mumbo of a crock pot. You know, we're just thrown in here and we got to figure it out. And it's just a giant game and you got to figure out how to play it well.
It's like you said, it's a game. You can't hate the player.
Master the game, bro. And when you feel like you've gotten better at the game, you stop hating on the other players because you know what it is.
Right.
Everybody's trying to catch a dub. Everybody's just trying to win.
Straight up, dude.
You want to end it on that?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, I guess we're getting ready.
All right.